news breaking that Meghan Markle, per Balenciaga's own designer, invited herself, reached out to him and said, hey, I'd like to show up.
Yeah.
What do you make of this?
Okay, so did you see that Meghan was with Chloe Mal over the weekend in New York? Did you see that picture?
This I did not see. Did not see.
So I think that tells us everything we need to know, that Meghan is telling People Magazine and Us Weekly, you're no longer worthy. And she is trying to court Vogue. And perhaps that trip to Paris Fashion Week was Meghan trying to prove to Vogue that her value or what she could do when she shows up. Chloe is a Nepo baby, got her job because of Murphy Brown. God love her. My favorite episode features JFK. I'm sure you're familiar with it.
JFK Jr.
Yeah, JFK Jr. That's right. And I think that she is familiar with clickbait and realizes that whether you love Meghan Markle or hate Meghan Markle, you're going to read an article about Meghan Markle. So despite the fact that Meghan is really just a jam salesperson today, Chloe would probably give her an opportunity to do something with Vogue just because she wants the traction or the traffic.
I have several thoughts about this, but the first one is how unusual it is in the fashion world to be telling tales outside of school. The inference we all got while seeing all of that footage of Meghan Markle walking, again, like a stormtrooper, down the runway at Balenciaga to her seat next to the body grader, Tracy Ellis Ross, the implication was that she had been invited by the house and that she was an honored guest. And now, in an interview over at The Cut, forgive me, I keep forgetting this designer's name because this is how much fashion really has ceased to matter. But he says, no, we didn't invite her. She reached out to us and said she'd like to come. And we said, hey, why not? Because it'll make a viral moment, which we know we need. This story, by the way, over at The Cut, which used to be a self-selecting group of Meghan lovers, there were only 10 comments on this article, and the bulk of them were like, how pathetic is Meghan Markle? How disgusting, not only that she invited herself, but that she went to Paris, a city in which her husband refuses to step foot because that's where his mother died. Now, we'll get to that in one second, but to your point about Vogue and Chloe Mal and trying to get the cover, when you said this to me, I thought, what? At first I thought no, and then it really did begin to make sense. Chloe is taking the reins of Vogue, which is dead. Vanity Fair also has a new young editor. They are both desperately trying to make splashes with their covers. They are both desperately trying to make their names and save what is dying legacy media. And to that I say, Chloe, go ahead, put Meghan on your cover, see what it does for you.
Well, and I think I quoted you earlier today. I was like, Maureen Callahan, there's no there. Give Meghan this platform. What is Meghan? How many times has this woman been unsilenced? I mean, every time she talks, whether it's Bloomberg or Oprah Winfrey, she's saying, I'm finally able to speak for the first time. And then what does she give us? That she's anchoring in herself. I mean, she does not contribute anything of value. So go ahead, take your pictures in Vogue. All of her glam pictures look the same. She does the tight hair back, which I think ages her ridiculously. I don't think that remember her Variety cover, also the Cut cover. I thought all of those were very unflattering. Also, how delicious that this interview transpires in the Cut, which totally betrayed her with their article where she talks about people dancing in the streets when she married Harry, like they did when Nelson Mandela was freed, or when she compares herself to two palm trees holding hands. I mean, this woman hates The Cut. So for The Cut to be the publication that reveals that she had to beg her way to Paris Fashion Week, I mean, it's like it's Shakespearean, like you've said in the past. It writes itself.
It really is Shakespearean. Now, to this point, you sent me this story in the Daily Mail regarding Harry and his stance that he will never set foot in Paris because that is where his mother died, and he believes nefarious forces took his mother out. First of all, I do think this is the sign of an unwell mind. You know, you're never going to set foot in a major world city because your mother died there. You have to integrate this and move on with your life. This is not a healthy reaction. That said, and again, we just accepted a humanitarian award for mental health. That said, Meghan historically said she would never also be able to set foot in Paris because of H. She would never do it. Here she is. And not only here she is, but she's filming herself doing a drive-by of Diana's death tunnel. Now, the reports are that Harry looked angry on the red carpet with Meghan the other night, not because she did that, but because Meghan is getting criticism for doing that. And the latter, I think, is tortured logic that could only have been spoon-fed to him by one Meghan Markle. It seems to me he is incandescent with rage. After that event, they went and had a quick lunch, I believe, with Serena Williams, and then they went out to dinner separately in New York City. Your thoughts?
I mean, well, first of all, when Meghan Markle goes on Netflix and says that, and this was her way of trying to subtly bring up the British royal family, she talked about how she was physically ill when she had to be away from her children. And she knew that people would connect the dots and realize that the time she was talking about was when Queen Elizabeth died and she was in the UK and didn't want to be there. Well, now she's in Paris, she's in New York, on her way to Washington, D.C. Who's with the kids? And are you physically, girl, I just saw her walking out of Gloria Steinem's house. Girl, are you okay? Do you need, do you need some Pepto? I don't know, but you're claiming to be physically sick when you're away from your children, and you seem to have been away from your children for quite a long time and not for anything worthy. Like, you just showed up. This is a little ego trip for you. You wanted to collect an award for being humanitarian.
A meaningless award from
yes.
an organization that I believe is only 3 years old and that nobody has ever heard from before or of.
Exactly. Well, you know what's so funny is I got into like a back and forth with somebody about this, and they were like, well, Meghan and Harry have worked with this company for 2 years. And I was like, well, that's longer than she was a member of the British royal family. So I guess she does deserve an award. I mean, it is longer than she was a working member of the royal family. But yeah, seeing them separately out and about in New York, I mean, how many times do you and I have to have the conversation? Harry, your security saga, you keep screwing it up yourself with your own actions. If you guys are so concerned about security, why are you wasting resources by separating all throughout the city? If you're so concerned about security, why is Meghan Markle running all over Paris? If you're so concerned about security, why are you ringing random people's doorbells in London?
Looking worse for wear after what seemed a very long night, attempting to find, as discussed, longtime friends who had nonetheless picked up and moved house and not sent Harry a forwarding address. Okay. Now, Meghan is tipped. As you said, she's on her way to DC. She is befouling the continental United States, or at least the Eastern Seaboard. She's on her way to Fortune's annual Most Powerful Women's Summit, where you fill me in on this event, Kinsey, because my water table is full up. There's only so much Meghan Markle news I can absorb in any given cycle. Please, she's going to be, I understand, alongside Kamala Harris.
Oh my gosh. I mean, what? Invite me to that word salad party, right? So it's Kamala Harris. Oh my God,
you're so right.
I think we need to play a game within the next week. Did Kamala say it or did Meghan Markle say it? Because I think that would be a challenge to figure out who said what. But it's Meghan Markle joining Kamala Harris, Selena Gomez, and more at Fortune's annual Most Powerful Women Summit. Get this. Meghan is reportedly set to discuss the launch of her lifestyle brand as ever, as well as navigating entrepreneurship in the public eye and building a brand that will endure, like the TIG or American Riviera Orchard or Archetypes or Confessions of a Female Founder, all of which don't exist anymore because those brands did not endure. What does this woman know about a brand that endures?
And first of all, great point. Talk about a brand that endures. It's the British royal family. That's a brand that has endured, sister, okay? Secondly, per reports, as ever, as far as we all can tell, is an actual commercial and critical failure. and Netflix is going to shut this down once all of the inventory has been moved, or they move as much of it as they can at probably a discount price.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we literally don't have any of the numbers, which is insane that when Bloomberg sat down with them, they didn't say, I demand this. But in a recent over the weekend piece in the Daily Mail, one friend told the Daily Mail she's literally lost Meghan because the whole jam making business did not work out in the way she thought it would. No one has seen any figures, but I don't think that they're doing well. So, I mean, there's no proof that as ever is going to be here a year from now.
Okay, one quick final note on Meghan and Harry. Reports out of the UK are that Harry, with yet another demand that he receive taxpayer-funded royal security for any future visits, has blown up the minimum. I mean, it's taken Israel and Hamas less time to make peace, okay? Than Harry and the royal family. Reports are out of the UK that he has, quote, blown up any progress made during that recent summit he had with King Charles. And the quote is, regrettably, out of Buckingham Palace, we are back to where we were.
Right, because he is taking it upon himself to sit down and write government officials saying, please reconsider this. And if you're going to restart this conversation, then you're back to square one. The king cannot talk to you, casually if you are challenging his government, because the fear is that Harry will take something that the king says in private and try to use it against him, not potentially in court, but even in the court of public opinion, knowing Harry and Meghan. Loose lips, sink ships, and you can't trust these two.
Last month, I told you about Honeylove, an independent female-founded brand whose products are actually designed by women who actually wear them. Honeylove bras are supportive and wire-free thanks to bonding technology that lifts without the dreaded underwire. Honeylove recently launched their new Cloud Embrace bra, which sold out in days. Of course it did. It's a modern wireless t-shirt bra with sturdy, lightly padded foam cups that feel like a cloud against your skin. It is a wireless bra for people who love the underwire effect without the agony. This style is bound to sell out again, so don't wait to get one for yourself. I love this product. It is really hard to find a comfortable, form-fitting bra that is also, doesn't give you any lines. You want to look all smoothed out and just put together and ready to go. And then you can forget you're even wearing it. That's Honeylove. So treat yourself to the most advanced bras and shapewear on the market. Save 20% off Honeylove at honeylove.com/nerve. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off. Honeylove.com/nerve to find your perfect fit. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please tell them you're a troublemaker and the Nerve sent you. Experience the new standard in bras and shapewear with Honeylove.